What's up, BAE Maniacs? Today we're kicking off a new series to show you how to get ready for the August event. My name's Steven.
And I'm Sabia. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I just got here.
It's all
How's
right.
it going, Steven?
Good, how are you?
Good.
We're doing surplus shopping, so let's kick it off with our first store. Now, Army Barracks is where I first found out about BAE and ultimately joined staff. So I think it's fitting that we start here and check out some of the stuff that they've got.
Right this way. One of the first things I always do, no matter what I'm in the market for, grab a basket. By the end of the time I'm here, I know I'm going to fill it up, maybe even grab a second. One of the things I love about hunting for military surplus is the hunt itself. You never know what you're going to find or where you're going to find it. So the staff here is always super friendly, always willing to help you find whatever you're looking for, but I like to just browse for anything that might catch my eye. Like paracord, can never have enough paracord, or canteen cups, or even better, canteen caps. There's usually an extra canteen cap floating around here someplace. And if you're like me, you break one or two a year, so it's always good to stock up on the little stuff. Watch me not find one now. Well, we found a couple. What you want to do is get the flat top one that doesn't have the NBC, the gas mask hose attachment. This is what you want. Being authentic is paramount. When you see a 2-quart canteen cover, you want to look for the more drab of olive drab. This one is from the early 2000s, and you might notice it's a little bit more light in color, a little bit more sage green. This one, especially with the white label on the inside, while it might be post-Vietnam, it is the correct color, and I can reconfigure the flat to have the proper shape.
When you're there for a week, you kind of get a little bit hungry. So instead of just buying MREs, you can buy into the meal program and the meal pass that BAE does for our big events, usually in August. What you're gonna need though are a couple of the metal items to accompany the meals that you're gonna get. One of them is a mess tin. These are usually pretty cheap and you can always check the dates right here. Like this one's from 1944, but it's the identical style used in the 60s. Another thing that you're gonna need is a canteen cup. There are definitely a few varieties, but typically this one with that curved handle is what you're gonna want because it'll fold right up underneath and you can put that right in your canteen cover.
So like I said, the hunt is half the fun. Sleeping gear, especially poncho liners, are worth their weight in gold, which now that I say it out loud, they don't weigh much, but it's still gold. But these, unfortunately, are woodland. But it's always worth just looking through because there might be one sleeping in the back, no pun intended. T-shirts. You should have at least one dry one in your ruck. That way you're going to bed and not in something that's been soaked with your sweat for the entire day.
Got to keep your feet dry. So socks are one of the key things that you're going to need on patrols, on base, basically anywhere. So you can get large 3-packs like this in any size that you need. You can get singles, but you don't really want anything too modern. We understand comfort is important, and safety and self-care with your feet is important, but there are plenty of green period style socks that are wool material that you can use at minimum. So find a good pair, and in a pinch, these are gonna work out perfectly as well.
Here's another important piece of kit. This is a neckerchief. It's made out of t-shirt material. It's Army issue. It's 60s vintage, and it's super comfortable to either throw over your head at night as a head covering if it gets really cold, or just to keep around your neck during the day, wipe off the sweat.
Even if you're not looking to go for strictly BAE related items, they do have plenty of things for other eras that definitely look for, because you're going to find something.
It does get cold on base sometimes, so getting a nice OD green field jacket wouldn't be a terrible idea. Now when you're trying these on, you don't have to pay too close attention to the size because they're made to be worn over a sweater, your thermals, and also the jacket liner. You don't need a jacket liner, you're not going to be wearing a sweater, so even if it says medium short, as you can see, this will still work. You don't have to badge up your jacket, especially for the field. Sterile is the way to go. But if you want to decorate yours for on base, what you want to do is get patches that have what they call a cut edge. The machine embroidery just stops right at the cotton, and they would simply cut it out. Later on, towards the end of the war, or even after, it would have a fully embroidered edge, or what they call a marrowed edge. So what you want to do is look for the frayed little sloppy bits, which is why they stopped making them that way.
And even for you Pavin guys, there is some gear that can be found, like this very inexpensive SKS rig. Typically you'll want the 3-cell Chi-Com that holds AK magazines, but this is an awesome chest rig that you can use for BAE events. But also keep in mind, if you're looking for a Chi-Com chest rig, make sure it's one that is the correct period color. You can often find reproductions or post-war ones, especially the 4-cell AK rigs, that looking like this are not correct for Vietnam. So make sure you get the proper colors.
Face it, what we're doing, the way that we do it, and the amount of time that we're out in the middle of no place doing it, someone's gonna get hurt. Hopefully it's not that bad, but getting a first aid kit to keep in your footlocker would not be a terrible idea. As you've probably figured out, the most costly part of your kit is gonna be the ruck. Knowing the difference between the proper lightweight or even the tropical ruck versus an Alice and their frames, it's gonna save you in the long run. So what you wanna look for is, in terms of Alice, this large rectangular bit at the hip and the cross piece. X marks the spot of what you don't want to buy. But if you look carefully, you might see something that's closer to a tropical. A surefire way to tell the difference is Alice has these 2 little tabs in the back pocket that the tropical ruck does not. Still, you may find an Alice pack that was put onto a lightweight frame. If you see one of those, you struck gold.
Now again, the dig is where you're gonna find the really cool stuff. Like, see all these random canvas straps. But if you go a little bit further behind, you're gonna find yourself a nice set of M56 suspenders, quintessential to any of our NOM kits.
Another piece of gear that is a nice addition to your ruck is a gas mask bag. Now, the M17 mask was in use for a long time, so using the right bag is going to be a little bit tricky if you don't know what to look for. Thankfully, there's no difference besides what's stamped right on the front. Anything that's not marked simply M17 is not really appropriate for what we're doing. What you want is the one that doesn't say anything besides M17. Paracord, they got tons of it. You can get any color you want for your own personal use, but for what we need, get the classic green. If you feel saucy, grab a whole spool. I know Steven wants one too.
What'd you find? Joe, what? Excuse me.
They don't have any green though.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's okay. Oh, here they are.
Thanks for coming with us on our surplus shopping journey. This is Steven.
And this is Sabia.
Yeah, and we'll see you in the next surplus shopping.
I'm Joe.